YouTube fisherman. We're looking at a tsunami wave rod that was left in the rod holder on the side of the boat when the boat was trailered, and it snapped. It snapped right there. The problem with this is that I looked everywhere, couldn't find anyone that did repair on the rods like that. I could get an eye put back on it on the tip, but what I did find was a guy from Thailand that inserted a screw. I looked around and this hole is so small, the best I could find was an old 16-penny nail. I actually went through a couple of 16-penny nails, and that's the one I've got right here. I cut the head of it off, and now I'm scoring it, and I will be inserting it into that hole and putting those together. And I will be using Gorilla epoxy. I've researched and found that super glue was just not a good thing because of the way it actually it actually fits into this hole right here. If you can see that. And the other side will fit into that hole. What I am doing right now is, you might be able to see some of the scoring that I've done on this. Mainly what I'm trying to do here is make sure that I've got a surface that holds that from sliding inside the rod once I get things put together. So you can see some scoring I've done there. Checked for different kinds of glue, and it ruled out any kind of super glue because it just is not designed for the weather and the stress. This is a Gorilla epoxy, sets in 5 minutes. That was like $5.98 at Lowe's. So what I'm gonna do is put these together. I'm gonna glue one side, let it harden, then I'll glue the other side and let it harden. And then I will use some stranded fishing line because I couldn't buy the line, the string that I needed to do a tie. And I'm gonna tie the outside where the joints come together. And then I'll epoxy that, and then I'll coat it somehow so that it's black, just like the rod. So here we go. I'm gonna come back after I've got some of the work done. I now have the first half glued after scoring the nail so I'd get good contact. It's difficult getting enough glue, enough epoxy down into the hole. That was a little bit of a problem. But we're waiting now for this to dry before we go to the next step and glue the other end on. Note that in the process of working on this, I've got kind of a rough edge there. And some of the stuff I saw videos and whatever, they sanded that edge smooth. But because of where my location is, and because I could get a significantly tight fit using the outline of the broken area there, I decided not to sand down the edge. That would also change the dimension, but mainly it would get me too close to this rod eye that's right on top of the work I'm doing. So let's give it a chance to dry, and then we'll do the other part. I have now glued the second half together. Used just a bit of a paper towel to clean off any gunk that had kind of bubbled up around that, just to keep it neat, because I plan to wrap it next. Now I'm going to let this side dry for a while. Now we got both sides together, got it kind of cleaned up a little bit. very difficult to even tell where the joint is. But I'm going to take some of this built up epoxy around the eye holder there, clean that up a bit, and we'll sand it a little bit just to kind of give me a good surface so I can wrap part of the way up that. Now you'll see that I've got the line threaded. There are a couple of techniques. The best technique is to use a loop, which you keep underneath of your wrap, and then you put your end piece into the loop, and then you pull it from the other side and tightens everything down. Got a few spots that are a little bit loose, but they should be covered up easy enough by the epoxy, and I'm doing that now. Now I have spread the epoxy, working it into the threads, and that worked pretty good. Got a little bit of work to do with that one piece sticking out there. The bulge is actually because I've doubled up on top of the eye holder material that was already there. But after this dries, I'll be able to smooth that edge out there. And you can see that the color is kind of reflective of the rest of the rod. So I think that's going to be good. We now have the finished product, and I was able to dab that rough edge down a little bit, but if I did it again, I'd probably use less glue and watch for the glue to bubble up on the bottom, which is why that one bump is up there. But we now have a Tsunami Trophy Series, $139. I spent $5.98.